So now we've reached the first corner. Here I've marked my very first chain stitch. At the beginning here I also marked the start of the round. I always do this so I know when to close it again. So that was the very first single crochet we made. Now we have 11 single crochets. We had 12 chain stitches, which means here into the last one, which I had also marked. That was basically the first chain stitch. Then I removed the stitch marker. Into this stitch we now make 3 single crochets because we want to go around the corner. That means we need a bit more space there, so we don't just make 1 stitch but 3. To do this, I insert my hook into this first loop and work the first single crochet into it. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over again. And pull through both loops. Now we need to make sure we work in this knot here. To do that, I push these 2 ends a bit closer, insert the hook, and pull the yarn over the knot. Kind of a little bit over it so we can hide it a bit. Second single crochet, and for the third, insert the hook into the same hole again. Pull a nice long thread. And just like that, we've finished the curve and the knot is hidden. And now we're going back. Now we crochet back here until we're at the beginning of the round again. And now we always insert the hook into this entire hole here. So at the beginning on the side, we only went into the stitch loop, but here we go into the whole hole. Here, 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 here. Into each one goes a single crochet until we're back here at the end. So now I'm going to try to crochet these ends in as I go back. That means I hold them up here a bit to keep them in place. Now comes the first stitch. First, I carefully insert the hook into the stitch, pull the yarn over these specific threads, and then I make my very first single crochet on the way back. And I will continue to keep doing that exact same motion until the loose threads are all completely tucked in and worked through the entire piece. I'll do this all the way across the row until I reach the beginning of the row. I'll see you when I've reached the end over there. So now I've reached the end. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochets, and these 3 are in the 11th single crochet. There, I worked 3 into 1, so that makes 11. So the 12th is still missing up here at the front, but I already have 1 in here. I need 3 here as well, so that the curve is exactly the same as on the other side. I've already crocheted 1 into the chain stitch at the beginning of the round. That means into this hole, I will now crochet 2 more single crochets, so that I also have 3 single crochets on this side. That's what we're going to do now. We basically insert the hook into this hole, so I've always worked into these individual holes here, as you can see. And here the very last one is still left. You have to pull a little bit, then you can see it. And here we insert the hook and work 2 more single crochets. 1, 2. So, and now comes the nice part with the little bag. Oops, now I've lost the loop here. We don't finish the round here with a slip stitch and a chain stitch. Instead, we simply crochet upwards in spirals. So what that actually means for our project is that the point where my current round ends is exactly the same spot where the very next round is going to begin. Now I'm going to carefully remove the stitch marker from this very first stitch of the first round. I will then work directly into this specific stitch. You can see I am already inserting my crochet hook right here, which marks the end of the first round and at the exact same time the start of the second round. I'll do this by simply working a standard single crochet into it, just like I usually do for every other stitch. Have I lost the white yarn again? Sorry. So then I insert the hook. Yarn over and make a single crochet. And now I'll mark this stitch again because this is the beginning of my round. This is the start of my second round. So I'll put a stitch marker in here again, and now I'll continue working. Single crochets round after round until I have crocheted 8 rounds upwards. So the first one doesn't count, it's the next 8 rounds that do. And for that I simply insert the hook, yarn over and pull through. One more important thing to keep in mind as we continue to crochet our way upwards is this. This side right here is what I call my nice side. And this other side is my inside, which you can see is just a little bit more bumpy than the first. That means as the process continues over time, I'll carefully rotate the piece of work and fold it outward in this direction. so that this side becomes my inside and this part becomes my new outside. So that means the nice side is now facing outward. I've turned it around. The bumpy side, where you can also see the yarn ends, is facing inward. And now I just continue crocheting as usual. You can also turn it later, but I find it a bit more difficult then. Every now and then it shifts around and you just push it back out. Now just stitch by stitch, round by round. We work our way upwards. We are going to continue this process until we have 8 full rounds. Let's take another quick look at it. Now it's turned itself around again. At the beginning, you just have to keep pushing it back out. But it gets significantly easier. With every single additional round,